It's a Ricky Martin song.
Oh, Jesus.
That would be why we don't know it.
It's a Ricky Martin song.
Which one?
Talk to me. Tell me your name. Banana, cause it's all the same.
Okay, so I was gonna tell you guys that my mom used to say, "You know how I know you're full of shit because your eyes are brown." And I was like, "Oh,
That's a bit aggressive.
Jesus Christ!"
I mean, it's true, but yeah, it's still, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What do you say? What do you say to your mom?"
I get it from you, brown eyes.
Thanks. Well, I'm adopted, so it doesn't actually work
that's
that
right.
way.
Oh,
You know what I mean? It doesn't
that's-
really work
yeah.
that way. But what does work is this.
One, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Chill Regular. My name is Jonesy, and with me today is Matt, Sean, and...
Did you forget my name?
No, I was debating whether we were going to call you David or not.
Hi,
David's
I'm
voice
David.
changed.
Birdie.
We got Birdie Bird.
We got a bird in the cage.
We got the dirty bird.
Chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp. Hi, baby.
Hello.
We talk about you a lot on this podcast. It's really nice to actually let you defend yourself.
Come out swinging. Come out swinging.
Oh, man.
Don't let him get away with shit.
Yeah, ever.
I let my fists do the talking.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, her and my asshole have a really good bout.
We all know this is a
He
lie.
loves it. Nope.
I'm hearing
We all know
fists
this is a
and
lie.
asses, and I'm thinking, oh yeah.
Damn.
That happened last week.
I know.
Remember, boys and girls, it's thumb first with a scooping motion.
I'm not okay with that.
And that's like, I'm somebody that enjoys this usually.
Yeah, the scooping motion to what?
Thumb
To hit the
first
prostate?
with a scooping motion.
To hit the prostate?
No, just to get the other knuckles in.
For those of you that aren't with us, what you do is imagine like you have a bowl of or a big like thing of ice cream, and it's really hard, and you take your hand
Really
and
hard.
you dig it in, and you do that nice
Dig it
scoop,
in.
leading with the thumb, so then the rest just falls through.
That's right.
And then
Just so that you can put this into practice. I really want you guys to be able to visualize this.
Yeah, and you can become Vlad the Impaler in your free time.
Oh my God. Me and my asshole are basically having a mental conversation and be like, all right, man, if that's what she wants to do, we'll do it.
Think about how
Because
easy.
we love her.
Think about how easy taking a poop would be after that.
Ooh.
You wouldn't even know you're pooping.
It would just happen.
It would just fall out.
Just
You
fall out.
Walk around and be like,
Incontinence at the age of 35. Let's go.
ugh, I don't want
You know?
that.
I don't
Just
want
walking around, you can hear the flaps of what used to be your butthole.
Oh, what is that sound? Are you wearing sandals? No, that's my asshole.
Do you know what? I just realized that I now have a new recommendation for my patients that struggle with constipation.
What?
Anal. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait,
It would
that's
be
a
like,
Shove it in.
Get the fuck out of here. That's real. Like, it's going to be a recommendation? Or
why not?
Well,
Doctor's orders.
Okay. Think about it.
Anal.
Hello, 97-year-old person that is bedbound. How do you feel about anal?
nice. That's a
I've
good
got-
icebreaker.
I've got
They're
a
like, why do you think I'm
recipe for
bedbound?
you.
What do you think?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
The real kicker is to imagine his sweet wife performing the act.
Yeah, you guys,
Pegging him?
for those of you who aren't with us, Birdie is all of like, what, 5'1"?
5'3".
5'3".
That's right.
Yeah, she's
As she sits up in the chair.
small person.
We put phone books on for her so she can be a better
Get a
height.
There you
booster
go.
seat.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, there's really no agenda today, boys. I think we had our what year wedding anniversary just recently, our 7-year wedding anniversary. Which I think was great. We had a good time. I think this go around. Wedding anniversaries are interesting because like you're supposed to do.
Well, yeah. What's like the
like a
process?
tradition.
It's like you eat the cake the first year or like some shit like that. Like
I don't like
gold,
that idea of the cake,
wood.
by the way, because
Yeah.
think about it this way: the tradition of eating the cake after your first wedding is that you keep it in the freezer for that long and then you thaw it out. I'm just like, is that just like a vision, like a metaphor for how stale now you're probably
More than likely.
your
First
relationship
year,
was?
stale. There we go.
Stale. half frozen,
It
thawed
just
out.
takes up a shit ton of room in the fucking freezer. That's just
It's
frustrating.
sweet, but it's a little stale.
I guess.
Trying to hear Bo barking. Is that what you're listening for? Nice.
Well, actually, we didn't do the cake thing. We bought one though. I think we bought one.
You bought a wedding cake?
There you go.
We
I
bought
hope
a
you bought
just
a wedding
the-
cake.
We got
We got cupcakes actually. for our
Oh, that's
wedding.
even better.
Yeah. We didn't do the whole cake cut. We didn't do much traditionally for our wedding though, did we?
No.
I mean, we had like our first dance, and I think you had your your papa
Yeah,
daughter
we did.
dance.
We did the traditional dances. There were an obscene amount of speeches that put most people to sleep, and Gary and I were just like, "You say nice things about us. This is wonderful."
This is our
Wait,
dance.
so
So shit, just
Did,
drink.
the best man and the bridesmaid or the maid of honor, did they give good speeches or were they like?
So we didn't
ho-hum?
have single best man or maids of honors.
Oh.
We just like all of our friends that were there and participating. They were just.
We
Yeah,
called
they were
them
just there.
all the best men and all
See,
the maids of
but
honor.
you know that's a lie. There's at
It's
least
not,
one
though,
person that you're like, this one's better than all of them. Like
No.
me, for example.
You wouldn't be in my wedding, then, so I'm just being honest with you.
I wouldn't be in your
Ouch.
You wouldn't be in my wedding because we've already had it. So
Would I have been if you were?
Unless you
Probably
time
not.
travel.
That's fair. I respect the
probably
honesty.
not. And the only reason why no is because not because I think any less of you. It's just you would have been at the bachelor party and you would have been invited to the wedding 100%.
Yeah.
It's just the people that were there. I've had in my life since 10 years old, all the way through high school.
If it makes you feel any better, he already knew me, and I wasn't invited to either the bachelor party or the wedding.
wedding.
So
Deep
I'm
dig.
not bitter. I'm not bitter.
To be honest with you, Sean just wouldn't have gone either which way.
Probably not.
He probably would,
That's the reason why
there's a possibility he would have forgot.
Yeah, totally.
Probably.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, that's today.
Like, ah, shit. I knew I was forgetting
Shit, I
something.
better go
If they
rent
call
a
me,
s-
it's fine.
Sean likes the idea of being invited and then not showing up because he's that guy.
Showing up late.
Yeah,
what
you
was
didn't
this-
hang out with Sean that much then.
No,
you guys
no.
didn't really know each other.
No,
each
not
other.
really.
You more knew of each other.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been married how long?
7 years.
years.
That's what we just
Oh
talked
yeah,
about. remember?
you and I
Welcome
only
to
met like
fuck's
8 years
sakes.
ago.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, you barely
exactly.
knew me. So
Yeah, so obvious.
yeah. Now, of course, I'd probably be your best man. Obviously.
I will fight you. I will die on this hill. That I would be the best.
my
I will
best man.
There
fucking
you go.
die
That's
on
what you
that
need
hill.
to do. That's what you need to do. Be like, guys, like I can't pick, so you're gonna decide.
It's like
through
that
combat.
episode. I mean, it's like that movie, that Batman movie with the Joker, with Heath Ledger, and he cracks the
tryouts?
the tryouts
Yeah.
with the pole cue. And he says, "Well, one of you guys are gonna have to
We're gonna have tryouts. Make it fast.
make it fast." Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
We're a small organization, but we're growing fast. And aggressive expansion.
And now my favorite
basically
part
what
of the
we would do.
bachelor party: combat for best man.
Oh my god, dude!
Could we have done it with like Nerf guns though? Like hit around the hotel and been like, let's
Maybe-
fucking
what about-
go, bitch, yas.
no.
What about those
There had to be
American
some
Gladiator
bottom porn.
fucking like pole like boffer fucking
I
things?
suck at those. I tried that in
Oh,
college
I
when
would
we had like a
fucking
fair.
destroy with those.
Man, no offense to you.
Yes,
I feel like you mildly suck at most physical things.
that's not entirely false.
Giggity.
Okay,
Giggity.
No, like I'm physically, I'm capable of doing a lot of things, but it's just like,
do I want?
I'm
to?
not good at it. Like I can do it. I'm just
Like,
not
I'm
good at
gonna
it.
try it.
I can swing the fucking thing, but I'm not good at it. I don't think I have that killer instinct. Like
Hang,
I'm
hang
not-
out enough. I'll teach you.
What?
I'll teach you how to destroy somebody with one of those.
Why do you
End
have
their
one?
life.
I have questions.
I swear to God,
Why do you
guys.
have one?
We have a YouTube channel, and this is going to be the first live show we're going to have. Is Sean.
It'll be the shortest fight because I'll swing and then I'll get fucking KO'd.
Well, it's either you're going to get KO'd
Or I am.
you're going to wheeze yourself out of extinction.
I'll
So
take one swing and
work
be
it
like,
out.
And then Britta comes in and defeats us both. She just
yeah, she's like, bye, bitches.
I told you guys I talk with my fists.
right, there you go. Yeah.
oh, you're just gonna.
We'll just put the little
come in swinging.
We'll put little like
Nice.
foam pads like taped onto her fists so she doesn't.
sock and boppers.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Because that's got to be the thing, right? Like the American Gladiator.
Boppers, you
weapons.
remember that
Fuck yeah, I
fucking
remember those
toy?
things.
Oh my God. What, anybody remember the theme song?
Just Hulk
though?
fists. We'll give you Hulk fists.
I don't remember the theme song. I just remember that anybody who had it, it was almost like you had to try and see if you could pop it on somebody's head. So you just run in. And it's like, we're really aggressive, and I don't understand why. We just got little things put on our hands, and it's like immediately our brains are like, let's beat the shit out of each
Well, I
other.
think most of our toys as children like promoted guns and violence,
Oh, hell yeah.
and we all turned out fine.
Debatable.
I mean, how many
mean-
mass shootings have happened, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are all current
That's
kids.
the newer
I was
fucks.
like, not by our generation.
Yeah,
Our
like-
generation was fine.
All our generation ain't
Our
shooting
generation
anybody.
started it.
Our generation,
by the way.
you know, we dealt with our
Oh,
problems by just
yeah.
burying it deep down and not saying shit.
Yeah,
Am I not
Columbine-
recalling? Our generation started it. I
Started
feel.
what?
Columbine did happen while I was in high school.
Hold on,
Yeah.
though. But that's because,
That's what I was realizing. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
well, but they were doing it in other countries. Like, nah.
What you're saying is everybody else is just a fucking copycat.
Yeah, fuckers.
Like tryhards.
This is
You can suck all day and bop all night.
This is literally a song to have sex. You can suck all day and bop all night.
The commercial is even better because they just blow in these things. So my mom bought us these for Christmas one year.
This song could be very easily misconstrued as sexual. It's like, blow it up, put your hand inside.
I've actually seen those kinds of videos.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
More fun than the pillow fight.
Yeah, inflating.
More
More
fun.
fun than a pillow fight.
I doubt it. Pillow fights are great.
More
I
fun.
have been knocked
More fun than a
down
pillow
by a
biter.
pillow.
Fuck yeah. Pillows can be just like tools of destruction.
My mom bought my brother and I sock and boppers for Christmas, and so we blow them up and put them on, and I literally just did one punch to my brother in the face and knocked him across the fucking room.
Hell
And
yeah.
my brother takes them off, and he's like, "I don't want to play.
I'm
this.
done.
I don't want to play this game anymore." And my mom's just like, "Shit, I didn't see that one coming." You know?
How did you not see that one coming?
Man, that was actually pretty funny.
Okay, so back to our first dance.
Yeah, what was the song?
Oh, it was super cheesy.
All of me loves all of you.
Yeah,
Would you?
that song. And guess what? That song is really, really long.
It really
You guys
is.
get done dancing, you're like, I'm fucking tired.
I'm
Can
like,
we stop?
we literally were making jokes while we were doing this. We're like, he is still going.
Oh, yeah,
boy.
because
He's
initially
still
we were
singing
going to
this.
do a Sublime song.
Yeah.
And then somehow switched to like the cheesy thing because that song had come out like within that year.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like 20.
What would have been our?
people,
It would
danced to
have what
it.
I got.
Yeah. So halfway through, I'm like, we really should have just done What I Got.
We
Would you
should've
go
just
back and
done
change
that.
it? Like, if you could, would you still keep that song or would you change it to like What I Got or something new?
I don't know. I think what I got is not like our karaoke song at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does it start?
Hold on. I'm playing the beginning.
I know. Cry when my dog runs away.
That's the breakdown.
That's the breakdown. Yeah.
Okay. It goes. Oh no, your sound. I can't remember. This is too much pressure.
We
My
have
brain's
this,
like,
and we would sing this song often, by the way. Like we loved it.
yeah. I would need absolute silence for longer than is appropriate on a podcast.
Fuck it, fight it, it's all the same.
Blue and Louis dogs don't waste their same. Fuck it.
I like that we don't know our own karaoke.
I know. Well, the words
Are you
are
looking it
there.
up?
The words are there usually. Just give me the beginning part of it though, because I can't remember the actual. What is it?
I love that you two are struggling so hard right now. Like, this
Well,
is
and we haven't done it. We actually have a whole routine of this thing. We've done it.
I'm gonna give you one word,
Yeah.
and I'll bet you get it early.
Early in the morning.
rising to the streets. Light me up that cigarette and I'll strap shoes on my feet. Doobie doobie doo. Got to find a reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone.
That was actually impressive.
I got a Dalmatian.
Oh, it's still
and I
going.
can still get high.
It was like you egged him on. Now he's gonna keep.
I
going.
can play the guitar like a motherfucking riot. Boom, 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 ba doo.
That's not the guitar, that's your mouth.
Beep, ba doo, ba da pew. Zippity, ba dee, beep, 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 beep. Get it, baby.
No, we're not doing that.
God damn it! I was really leading you in for this one. I really wanted you to do.
Life
She's
is
like,
too short,
"Thank
so
you."
love the one you got, cause you might get run over or you might get shot. Never start a static, I just get it off my chest.
Chest.
Never had to battle with my bulletproof vest.
Best.
Take a small example, take a tip to it from me. Take all your love and give it up to
Charity.
That's what I got within my reach, and the sublime style still straight from Long Beach. It all comes back to you. You finally get what you deserve. Try and test that, you're bound to get served.
Love's what I got. Don't start a riot. You feel it when the dance gets hot. Hot. Loving.
There you go.
What I got.
That was bravo.
So remember that.
That was great, guys. Thank you.
You're very
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah, we love that song. So that would have probably been our first song. But then she ended up finding who was the guy?
Oh yeah, I just happened to find one of the most popular songs of the year. Just like happened upon
You're
it.
not a breadzilla, busy bitch.
Wait, were you? Were you?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think you know what's interesting about weddings, like, is that I think anybody tends to say, well, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna let that stuff worry me. I'm not gonna let these things worry me. Like, this is our day. We're gonna we're gonna do all these things the way we want to. But then it just happens, right? Like, family gets entitled. There's a lot of things that tend to, like, you worry about that you don't realize that you're actually worrying about. And then by the time that you're overly worrying about them, you realize that, like, oh, this didn't fucking matter at all in the grand scheme of it, you know?
Yeah.
And so for us, I mean, there was a moment when you were just like, none of this fucking matters. And I'm going crazy. All that matters is that you and I...
You had the Bridezilla moment?
Do our thing. I wouldn't say a Bridezilla moment, but I do think there was a lot of frustration happening.
I wasn't asking you.
Oh,
I know you had a Bridezilla moment.
She can speak for herself, Gary. You fucking chauvinist.
It is the 21st century.
No, you know what? Less of, well, you know, Gary had a Bridezilla moment.
100%.
I guarantee you
I am
did.
probably
Like
the
several.
only one that had a Bridezilla moment. I couldn't even fucking fit in my dress.
That's why I assumed you had the Bridezilla moment.
I actually did not have the Bridezilla moment, though.
No, it was just getting worried about things that didn't matter. And we spent money, and we didn't, in the grand scheme of things, I think we spent $8,500.
Oh,
That's really not bad at all.
Which is really
It was an awesome
good,
wedding.
and I still think that
Yeah,
that's embarrassing.
And you guys looked
Wait, did you spend
fantastic
that
from the
much?
pictures I
Yeah.
saw. Your wedding looked amazing.
fair.
It was like a
still
backyard
think
party.
It was silly.
See, that's kinda what I wanna do.
Much money.
Yeah.
Like I'm straight up just going to throw a toga party. The most expensive thing I'm going to do is probably get it catered.
With you, that's going to turn into an orgy.
It doesn't
It's gonna
have to be
become
that
a Roman
expensive, though, by
orgy,
the way.
like Caligula.
Well, I
style.
really hope not because
Sounds-
my parents are going to be there.
Well, you know, they leave.
Let them
They
be.
can fuck.
Let
What's
them
wrong
be.
with
How the fuck
you?
do you think you
I
got
just think
here?
it would be weird if they were fucking my friends.
Well, I talked
Your
to
friends could be fucking them. You
Mom,
don't know.
Dad, don't screw my friends.
Don't you tell them what to do.
You're right. Mom, Dad, you can screw my friends if you like.
My name is
There it
Gary
is.
and Britta.
I mean, I can introduce you guys.
What does that
Apparently,
have to do with anything?
apparently,
you're
there's.
talking
I
to
mean,
his
I don't know my parents as well as I probably think I do. So who knows? They probably get down. I probably get my kink from them.
Yeah.
He's
They're
probably-
like, oh, you are the way you are because we know.
Yeah.
Your dad probably gets pegged. No, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think so.
Your dad's going to listen to this and be like, I do get paid.
He's going to text me like, yeah, actually, he was right. It's quite nice.
Shit, he knows my secret. My dad's very secretive about he's very private. He's not secretive. He's private. He's always been closeted everything except for just like anything that was outside the norm is something he would just, like he didn't want you to
quiet.
know that he smoked pot. He didn't want you to know that.
That's
he
the weirdest thing
swore.
with parents, in my opinion. Like, why do they hide so much of who they really are from the kids? Because
I think it's a generational thing.
I
in my
guess.
opinion.
I think so.
I don't know.
You got to
man.
remember, he was born in 1950.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Think about when he grew up. It was a very, very different world.
Something that my parent friends say, or that can very much relate to, is that they often try and parent themselves out of their children. Because,
yeah.
And so the idea that we all have our own flaws and not wanting that to be inherited or programmed into your children, that I would imagine it's like, yeah, I'm fucked up, but I don't want you to be fucked up. I'm going to try and like not expose you to all that shit.
But the irony in doing that is you're fucking them up anyway.
Yeah, because I think it's so focused on like not
Exposure
like, that
therapy
one
can
thing.
be very good, like for teaching them how to avoid certain things. So
Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's not how everybody
Well, and
thinks.
it's interesting to me-
sometimes it's inherent that you just want to protect
Right.
and you don't realize that protecting isn't actually
You're not
your
actually
form of
protecting
protecting
them.
isn't necessarily helpful.
Yeah, like my mom, love her to death. Like she was a avid smoker, cigarettes for years, and she hid it from us for a long time. And then she's telling us like, don't smoke. Smoking is bad. Bang, bang, bang. Ding, ding, ding. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And she chastised anybody that was smoking. You see that guy? Don't do that.
And that's,
You see that? Don't do that. And then the moment that we found out that my mom smoked, I was just like,
yeah, it becomes like a hypocritical thing.
fuck you.
Yeah, then,
Right?
then there's like there's the distrust at that point.
Then I don't trust you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And my mom, there was the adults, I don't want to just single out my mom, but like the adults that were in my house, there was a lot of that going on. So like, I don't trust any of them. You guys hear that? I don't trust any of you.
Well, that kind of, not in terms of trust, but like my family didn't really talk about sex growing up. And I can't remember if I told this, but I had like a toy little box. My parents, I don't even know why they kept in the room until I found out So I went in there. I was trying to grab like a little plastic sword and then like fight with it and act like a little goofball or whatever. And I go in there and I check the box and it's right next to the bed. And then I was like, I don't recognize this sword. What is this? And I pull it out and it is a just big old vibrator.
Nice.
And it's long, pink, and fleshy.
It's a space sword.
It does like the spinning, and it has the rabbit on it. And me as a kid, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I'm like running around like shit. Like my parents weren't there when it was happening, but I was just like running around like shit. This is the coolest thing. I was like, it's kind of squishy though.
He grabs it and he's like,
No, I vaguely remember like picking something off of it. That could have been some vagine hair.
Clean your toys, people.
That is the moral
that
of
is
this story.
that's doctor's
Yeah,
orders.
it's not just healthy, but your children might find them.
So I
How
put
did you
it
get
back.
pink eye again? Well,
Yes. So that was a fun thing. I was like, oh, then I just put it back and never talked about it again.
so you said something at the beginning of this. You're like, you understood why your parents put the toy box in their room.
No, I don't understand until I was like, oh, they were using it to hide their toy.
It was their toy box too.
You know what I'm curious.
a metaphor for
Did you
ruining
hear that?
childhood.
That was,
but I'm more curious.
You just
about,
like peeled a little strip off of his childhood, just right then. He's
Just a
like,
little
oh, that was the sound of childhood.
I think the
fading
thing that
away.
I'm more curious about though
Sure.
is like how many other of your toys did they fuck around with? If it was all in the same box.
Oh, you fucker. Really? You're just going to put that in my brain?
Voltron, no.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, well,
God.
yeah. I mean,
That's possible.
I'm imagining like an odd role play, like taking out like a big action figure, like your dad being like,
I must save the planet, and the only way is to come inside you.
Oh, my God.
like, and then like, she's like, oh, save me.
I mean, I'm
whatever
mildly
action
turned
figure
on.
You are.
Oh, if you could see Matt's face right now.
Oh no, Cobra Commander.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. My brain's just going to. I mean, the problem is I don't think they had a great sex life. That's the problem.
No.
Why do you think they had all those toys?
Yeah. I mean, they had other issues, but.
So was it your mom's or your dad's vibrator?
Oof.
Damn.
I'll text and find out.
Let us know how that goes.
Commander, real question on the brig, quickly.
I know you're doing stuff, but you used to have this crazy dildo. Was that yours?
Yeah,
Like, oh, no.
He was like, that was our
Oh my
communal
god! If
dildo.
you use the wabbit or the rabbit,
the wabbit.
The wabbit.
You wascally wabbit.
That's adorable.
I'll
Look
tell
at
you
her Elmo
why.
fudding right now.
I'll tell you why, because the first like big like dildo whatever toy I bought for myself, I didn't have enough money for the rabbit. And so I got the wabbit.
Oh, that's what it was called.
Oh, it
called the
really
wabbit.
was called the wabbit. Nice.
Okay, so
And
that's
so-
better.
And it was bright pink. And so when
It's
you
hunting
mention
season,
this,
boys and
that's
girls.
what
Oh
I
my
think
God.
about.
And it had Elmerfudd on
it was
the
actually
cover.
a very
Oh
inadequate
my
toy.
God.
It did not do its job at all. But I'm thinking about the shape, and I was like, your dad. Oh no, your dad could have used the main dildo part, but then if he turned it just right, then he'd get some like taint play.
For himself?
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking like the
Well, here's
wabbit
the
didn't
problem
cut
with
it,
all
so
of this is
clearly
now
it's
that
duck
I'm-
season.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, I'm like, ooh.
It's fish season.
And then they call Sean because
that's my-
they need the Von Dyke.
And I'm like, that would have been inappropriate.
And the problem
I
is
was like, I'm just
now-
going to say it anyways.
The unfortunate thing is that now Britta has now made my dad's taint part of my mind. Something I'd never thought about in
wanted
the
to
history
think
of my
about.
35 years on this planet. And now it's like, oh, right there. And I'm like,
Just accept it, Matt. It's all part of the healing
How
process.
do you think you were made?
Commander.
not through his taint.
Well, but maybe some taint play was part of it.
Come on.
Just saying.
Leave Alice and the commander alone.
Just saying.
Leave Brittany alone.
But if
Is your
there-
mom's
if
name
the-
Alice?
Yeah, her name's Alice.
I love it as
That's
the Alice and the
adorable.
Commander. I mean, that's a porno in itself.
Went down the wabbit hole.
playing with his toys. Could it be the Cobra Commander?
Fucking A, dude.
Cobra
Commander?
Cobra Commander? Commanding that Cobra? I don't know. Maybe
I see
not.
where you went with it.
Maybe the fourth time I said it wasn't funny either.
The Cobra Commander and
Say it again. Maybe it'll
Alice and the
work.
Wabbit.
Cobra
Alice and the
Commander.
Wabbit.
Alice
There
and the
you go.
White
Yeah,
Wabbit.
that worked. Okay.
I'd watch that.
So I'm in therapy now.
This brings up an excellent point I have in my mind because I want everyone to enjoy sex until they die because I think it's such a wonderful part of life. And so that means like if I care about my parents, I want that to be for them, but I really don't like the idea of like thinking
Like
about
details,
them that way.
Right? It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, like my mom has been single for a long time, and through her own life or whatever, had not had sex for a long time, and she had this random hookup with a
Good for
very
her.
young dude that
Nice.
she met at a bar that picked her up.
I love all of this.
Oh my God, it's a great story.
Go PK.
Except she told me a lot of details.
Yes.
Like instead of calling her best girlfriend, she called me and then told me everything. And I wanted none of that. I wanted to know.
I
hey,
came into the room and she was curled into a ball.
Oh my God, it was horrible. Yeah, I don't know why all of my parents, except my stepdad, always told me way too much sexual information from the time I was like a kid. So like my stepmom used to tell me how my dad always wanted to fuck at the end of the night and that's why he went upstairs, but she doesn't want to.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, why the fuck are you telling me?
Yo, that's
these
traumatic
things?
as shit.
I'm a
Just know your dad's going
teenager.
upstairs not because he doesn't love you, it's because he loves me in that.
Because he
moment.
loves that.
Oh no, she made it very clear that he just needed to get laid. That it had nothing to do with love. It was
Oh,
just like
that's
he just
adorable.
his dick needs taken care of, and they haven't developed. They fought all the time. Like they're divorced now for a reason. But anyway, yeah, my dad, after he had prostate cancer, didn't bother to tell me he had prostate cancer until he had already had surgery.
Oh shit.
Had surgery, everything was fine. But what he did find very important to tell me is that he can still fuck.
Who did he fuck?
Oh, he has girlfriends.
He has
and stuff.
girlfriends.
Oh, I was like, did he just bang a nurse in there? That'd be hilarious.
No, literally.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No,
though.
he didn't tell. I had no idea he had prostate cancer in my recollection until he was already home, recovered, like surgery's over.
I mean, was that like disappointing to you? Were you like, what the fuck?
Well, it's if you're going through like cancer's scary for a lot of people. I'd like
Yeah.
to be supportive and do whatever I can. But he did want to tell me that his dick still gets very
Right?
hard.
It's like, why
I was
is
like,
this the thing you say?
My manhood is still intact.
And again, I'm so glad.
Good news, everybody.
And
I came.
I don't know why you're telling your only daughter that.
Yeah, that, like I would never tell my daughter like, yo, busted that nut still.
There's something.
How do you think you got here, baby girl?
Again, I want all my parents to have plenty of like orgasms till they die, but I really don't want to know about it. God.
Yeah, sex is important.
Yeah. Just don't tell me about it.
I know.
From your parents' point of view, you know?
Yeah, I mean, do you think your parents care if you talk about sex?
You know what's funny about that, actually? When we were dating in high school, my mom would always ask, like, you know, are you and Britta having sex? And I'll be like,
You know why?
no, Mom. I do know, and I'll get to it.
Yeah.
No, Mom, we're not. And she goes, but you would tell me, right? And I'm like,
Maybe.
and my mouth said sure, but my brain said fuck no.
Hard pass.
Like a hard no. And it was just one of those things where I was realizing that my mom also said, Mijo, look if you ever got her pregnant, I would love to take care of that baby. Right? Because she wasn't having any more kids, but
Yeah.
she loves children and that's like, my mom's a great mom between the ages of 0 and like 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she was very like pushy with stuff like that. And so my Aunt Candy, we're like, I don't know, we've been dating.
Hold the fuck. Wait, sorry. Your aunt's name's Candy?
Yes, her name's Candace, but we called her Aunt Candy.
Oh, okay, Candace. I literally thought she was Candy. I was like,
Ironically, this is
Questions?
not even my real aunt. It's like my mom's best friend since like they were like 7 years old or whatever. And
it's like if that's Candy's real name, she only had one option for
one
a
option,
profession.
I know,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, you know what's funny about her? I'm digressing rather, but she was a mortician, but she did the makeup for all the dead bodies.
Oh,
At a morgue for years. So she always has some really creepy fucking stories.
Yeah.
She's always talking about eating tacos while she's like embalming fluids and all that type of stuff. I'm like, bitch, you crazy. Although my Aunt Candy is really pretty. She's really, really pretty. Very
I was like the
pretty.
transition of that. She did makeup. She's beautiful though.
I mean, she can make your dead grandma
She
look
knows how
fucking fuckable in that coffin. Might as well.
There you
know what
go.
I mean? She got to be doing it right somehow. A little bit.
She knows how to do makeup. She knows how to work with stiffs.
I mean, hey,
Ooh, I'm on the
bump.
fence with that one. I'm on the fence with that one.
Creepy movie. So anyway, my my aunt comes to visit, and we were like, I don't know, senior year or something like that, and they're all hanging out in the backyard or whatever. And my mom's so drunk, and she's just like, he would tell me. No. And I was like, what? You would tell me if you and Britta were having sex, wouldn't you? And I'm like, sure, Mom, I would totally tell you. And she's like, see, and she looks at Candy. She's like, I have a great relationship with my kids.
Oh, no.
Right? And then my mom walks off. And my Aunt Candy looks over at me and she goes, you guys are fucking, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I would never tell that to my mom.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
just wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting transit. Like, because we view parents as like parents instead of the reality that they are just like separate people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, until you get much older, it's really hard to separate that kind of reality.
Sure. Yeah. The term that's sometimes called is caregivers. Like they're your caregivers.
Yeah.
They're not your, I don't know, some
rewards or some kind
I don't know.
whatever.
Like I feel like parents, when you're a kid or whatever, they get put in this like certain category with a lot of expectations for guidance and all these other things. But they're really just like, hey, I'm just trying to keep you alive.
Right.
Make sure that you can like live. That's it. That's my job.
Yeah.
My job is not to be some like omnipotent, like
Know-it-all.
godlike, perfect creature.
Right.
Yeah.
For you to forever like
Idolize.
exactly. Yeah, you got me.
But I think that's the different
for some
approach.
reason that still happens, and then you go, oh yeah, but you're just people.
So you're a human and sometimes you fuck up.
Well, and
yeah,
that's
like
the thing,
I fuck
though,
up
right?
all the time. I can't imagine having kids.
Well, to me, that's the most important thing, though. I mean, we're never going to have kids, but at the same time, Sean, you have a kid. You, Matt, may have a kid. I don't know.
We'll find out.
We'll find out
Maybe
eventually.
someday.
Maybe
We'll see.
someday, right? But
That sounded a lot more impending. I was like, what?
Wait,
Like,
side
we'll
note,
find out like next week. Like, oh, what?
No.
BD.
Is that something you would eventually want?
I would. That was a big contention with, that wasn't big contention, but with Kelsey and I, for the listeners, for 16 listeners on this, Kelsey and I unfortunately broke up 2 days ago.
Ladies, you must now know that the fantastic Matt is available.
That's right. That guy
That
who
whole
blasted
5 inches
OnlyFans.
is
Yeah,
ready
he's available.
Yes.
If you need 8 inches and you want to be heard, he'll hit you.
He'll go to Gary, but if you need 5
twice and
inches,
punch you in the mouth.
I was gonna say, yeah, he'll fuck you twice and hit you with a brick.
That's right.
Goodness.
But yeah, so that was the contention, is that she really wants kids. She's getting older. She's not really that old. She's 31, but she really wants kids. And I know that writing is my thing. And I was like, I don't want kids until that takes off. And she was like, well, how much time do you need? And I was like, I have no idea. Like it could happen tomorrow. It could happen like a couple of years. Like, and so that was always a thing. Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna get to was like, I think like if we were to have kids, I think coming at them in a place of like, look, I'm not perfect, but I'm here to give you just advice. I think how I grew up, it was never that type of concept.
Right.
There was always this veil of like perfection that was there, that my mom and the parents that I was raised by were just like, don't do this, be like that. But then the moment that you kind of slowly pull back that veil and you start to realize, oh, they're just human beings, it kind of crushes a bit, right? Because then it allows you to realize that your parents aren't these things that you've kind of built in your mind and that you've trusted. So for me, it was one of those issues where I just didn't trust them.
Yeah. No. In
general.
Yeah. Britta was kind of talking about that too.
know?
Just like that whole build up that we have for parents and like kind of idolize. I think that would be the best approach, is like, here's the thing. I'm going to do my best to be like, make sure you don't die. Number one. I'm going to try to guide you and teach you lessons because I've been on this earth longer than your dumbass. So listen to me, but also realize
I don't know
I'm
shit.
dumb still too. So
that's the approach. I wish I had that.
Like, don't idolize me, but please understand that come to me if you need help or anything, but like, do not mirror what I do because I'm not good at it either.
Yeah.
So
We're stumbling on this fucking rock going through space together.
yeah, sometimes I like poop my pants accidentally and I'm 30. Like, you know, these things happen.
It's totally cool. So don't shame me when I poop my pants at 5, bitch. Yeah. Well, with that note, guys, we're going to take a quick break from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Captain Stiff's Maritime Mortuary. Sometimes in life, we have to face the difficult time of letting our loved ones go. on a fantastic cruise. No more rotting in a box or fiery incineration for Grandma and Grandpa. Now they can set sail on the high seas in an extravagant waterborne mausoleum. Have them stuffed, fluffed, and buffed for their time out on the sun deck or lounging by the pool. Dress them fine for wine time in a restaurant that everyone is just dying to get a table at. Get our private time package for their very own starboard suite so they can spend eternity spicing things up in the sheets. All this and many more themes to choose from. Call now. Expert taxidermists are standing by.
Okay, so I have like a thing to share, and then I have a question. So my thing to share is that I was listening to some, I don't know, personal development, whatever stuff, and they were saying that very few people are fortunate enough to grow up with parents that are very emotionally evolved. So talking about some of the concepts that we were talking about earlier, like that's an unrealistic expectation to have of most people.
Oh yeah. To be like,
So and so it's great for us in hindsight, and with most of us not having children, to be on our little high horses talking about.
I will
this.
sit on this high horse and point and laugh. Peasant.
Yeah,
Peasant.
but I'm curious, Sean, because you do have a kid, and because you've had like depending on your interactions throughout their life and all that kind of stuff, like how you take all this and what do you do?
In regards to...
Well, because we were talking about the idea of parents shielding their kids to protect them from like parenting, like parenting themselves out of the kids or trying to avoid that altogether, versus just a lot of transparency to provide as like another option and all that other emotional intelligence stuff.
So, I mean, my son largely lives with his mother and his other dad.
Right.
And they, so, I mean, me personally, I haven't had a lot of involvement in his exposure to things, but I do have to kind of make sure that I keep in line with certain, rules that they have set forward. Me personally, I'm more of the mindset of like, steady exposure to normal everyday life is healthy, as long as you explain to them, like, as long as you like basically treat them like they're smart enough to understand, because
Oh my God, that was dramatic as fuck.
I couldn't fight that one.
oh my God.
Well, because I know you have what I think is interesting about your situation is because you have this limited interaction.
Yeah.
And how old is your kid now?
He's 14.
Yeah, so he's at this like really
Dick age.
delicate age is what
He's
I was
touching his
gonna
dick, yo.
say. And so while also like interacting, because I think most people now come from homes, it's not like the Leave It to Beaver situation.
What?
And so it's like what do you do and how does that work out?
So mostly with my son, I mean, I always kind of decided very early on that I wasn't going to shelter him from a lot, because I'd rather him have the stance of, I can always come to my parents for information or for my curiosities. I wanted him to feel like there wasn't something that he couldn't talk to us about. So going forward with this, like, I just don't want to talk to him about this stuff. I don't want him to see this stuff. It kind of leads, because kids are going to do what they're going to do, right? They're always going to see something outside of your control and go down a path. And the only thing that you can control is whether or not they feel like they can come to you with that. And so I always decided, like, if my son, like, I never shield him from swear words. And he's actually pretty eloquent when he speaks. He doesn't cuss a lot. He doesn't, he's very respectful. I'm not, and that's, I mean, I can be, but I don't naturally speak, without swearing.
Is that a bad thing?
He's also very self-regulating, because we always just put it in his hands to be the one who's well-behaved, rather than, enforcing or expecting and limiting him. It was more like, if you do this, that will help me out. Can you help me out? And then he's part of the team instead. So I kind of that's my approach with everything when it comes to parenting.
I like that much better.
Okay, so now
For
I
me, I
have,
like that better, but
I
I'm
have
not
an
a team
additional
guy.
question. So has there ever been something that you've said or done and you anticipated for your son to react in a certain way and then it went a different way?
Like shit went sideways real quick.
Well, it doesn't even have to be sideways. It doesn't have to be horrible, but just like unexpected. And all.
No.
Everything's just turned out exactly as you anticipated.
So far,
You're just
I mean-
like fucking magical like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Britta, he's in the industry.
Yeah.
He's in the industry.
He knows.
I'm in the industry of having a kid. I would say that so far that I've had him had to tell me things that he did, and I had to think of ways to respond to that myself. But he's always been very receptive when I'm communicating with him.
Well, that's cool. I have to say, sometimes people have a very traditional mindset of who influences you. And my experience is, of course, my own. So not necessarily generalizable, but I think it is to a certain extent. I'm going to give that caveat that I'm not like a total ass, but maybe I am. Anyway.
You got that ass.
I was like, Gary's not gonna let this go. No way. No
You
way.
got that ass, but you ain't a total ass.
But he will total that ass.
Oh my God, now I'm going to lose
Wax
my
on,
thought.
wax off, motherfuckers.
Left cheek, right cheek, left cheek,
And
right
there's
cheek.
the train of thought is gone.
And
We were having a very sentimental
There it
conversation, and this came up.
No, what I realized in reflection and as I think about our role, not having kids and our interaction with children, is that there were a lot of people that affected me that weren't necessarily my parents that helped to make me a good person or not.
I have a theory about that too, and that's it largely due to the fact that when your parents are sheltering you from a lot of the things that they don't want you to do, rather than working through it with you, you then, like I said before, kids are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to find somebody who they can trust, who they can basically learn from and attach to that person in that regard. So it's really, if you're going to approach your children with something you need them to do or not do, you need to make them part of the team. You need to, anytime my son had a behavioral issue, it was never, if you keep doing this, I'm going to beat your ass or anything like that. It was, hey,
You're not doing it right then.
well, that's not to say, look, that's not to say he never got a swat on the ass. I'm hands down, I'm a firm
Glad
believer.
you're a firm believer of the physical education.
Firm believer in physical education.
I gotta say that was real effective for me.
Very.
It was effective for me too. I never did that shit
You
again.
gotta put the fear.
I use that on some adults. But anyways, the point is that so when we'd go out to like a restaurant, my son was like getting carried away, misbehaving, whatever. He'd get a couple warnings of like, hey, sit down, mellow out. And if he didn't, then it was like, okay. And I'd pick him up, take him out of the booth, walk him out the front door of the restaurant, and just completely remove him from the situation. Because at this point, his mother's going nuts, about to snap off. She's like, you need to do something with this kid. So I'd walk him out, sit him. We did this a couple times in the same spot, and there was this wall out in front of the place, and I'd sit him on the wall. And I'd say, okay, look, here's what's going down. And I'm just like this. I'm not rewording how I did this. I said, we're trying to have a meal, and the way you're behaving isn't going to make it so that we can have a nice meal together. So what I need you to do is calm down, come back inside, be calm at the table, and then play afterwards when we're back at home. Okay? Because right now what we're trying to do is be well behaved, be still, be calm, and eat together. Can you help me with that? And he'd think about it, he'd nod. I said, okay, cool. We're going to be a team on this, right? And he goes, okay, yeah. Then I'd bring him right back in. And he'd be a perfect angel the rest of the time because I made it clear to him what the needs were, what the stakes were, and how he can help. Yeah. And he was like 2, and he got this.
Yeah, well, that's the amazing point. One of our friends is like, I'm telling you, we have plenty of friends that are parents, and some are better than others from an outsider's perspective, which is real judgy. But one of our friends is fucking amazing. Like I've learned so much about how to interact with kids in a really positive way. And like one of her kids is like more prone to anxiety or control issues. And he's just always been this way. And he's like a really sensitive kid. And even from a very young age, he'd be having a tantrum and she would be talking to him. So like, I remember once he was really upset because she had poured water and he couldn't watch her pour it because he wanted to see. Because as a young kid, you're excited about really stupid shit.
Everything.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's not stupid, it's new to them.
Yeah.
And so he started to lose his shit and he's like freaking out. And she goes, "Are you upset because you couldn't see me pour the water?" And all of a sudden he's like, "Uh-huh." And she goes, "Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was important to you, but next time I'll let you watch. That's not a problem." And then all of a sudden it was like relaxed.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so like some of that was just being present with her kid, understanding her kid, being, paying attention.
Yeah.
But it was also just like a conversation. She didn't go, "Oh, are you upset?" She didn't do any of that weird shit. And he was very young. He was like 2 or something like
You
that.
really don't need to coddle kids the way you do. I mean, I'm sure it's nice. There's times for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's also a time to talk to them like they get it because they understand a lot more than we give them credit for.
Well, and some of that has to do with, if we're going to get like sciencey, it has to do with like their verbal development does not indicate their understanding of their environment and everything. So they actually are a lot more cognizant, like before we realize or before a lot of people realize, only because their verbal skills haven't necessarily developed enough to always communicate that. So if you don't ask them in a way that they can go like,
Right.
"Yeah, I was nodding, yes or no."
Yeah.
Then if you don't give them things that way, then they don't have a way to tell you.
Yeah.
And so that's, anyway.
I learned it mostly from my dad taking the time to speak with me, even when I was an infant, like still in a car seat, couldn't walk on my own, didn't say a word yet. But I remember the things that my dad would tell me, like while we were driving down the road, because he would just talk to me.
Wait, you remember that shit?
Yeah.
How old are you?
6 months. But
How the fuck? What is happening?
Yeah,
I can
that's-
barely remember what I did last week.
That's quite unusual.
Quite.
yes.
Well, that's, I
yes,
guess you're an
quite.
unusual guy.
Anyway, so I remembered these things because, I mean, yeah, I don't remember everything he ever said to me, but he was very consistent. And he would talk to me like I was a little man, like I was just, and he would call me little man. That was what he called me as a baby. And he always, just spoke to me like I was a little adult and was very clear with me on stuff. And I really wasn't a bad kid. I got, okay, I get this, I can process this. And now I understand what I need to do. And so if I was ever going to do anything that was outside of my rule set, I just made sure I didn't get caught. But
Kid, I just made sure when I did bad shit, no one saw me do it.
I was good.
but at home, my parents largely didn't need to worry about my behavior unless I got carried away and wasn't thinking, and like there's a couple times in which I fought with my siblings or got carried away because I was just being rambunctious. But in a moment whenever I had to be reprimanded, my dad could be like, "Hey, look, you can't do this, and here's why." And and that's how he taught me how to be a good person, how to love people, how to just he built a strong foundation for me to be a good communicator from day one and on.
My mom actually was training me for COVID.
Oh yeah,
very early on in life.
Oh yeah.
God,
by the way,
how,
social distancing?
How so?
So my mom, as wonderful as she is, Mom, if you're listening to this, I love you. My mom would take us to stores and she would smack us. Previously leaving the car, we're like, "What the fuck was that for?" And she would always say, "It's for what you haven't done yet, so don't do it."
Oh, see that.
Okay, you guys are all going to grimace, and I've heard this so many times, but have you met Gary? And have you met his brother?
Here's the thing.
Because both of them are obstinate motherfuckers that like to do what they want to do. And they also are not often afraid of things that most people are afraid of.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you already had it kind of beaten into you, basically. It's like, oh, I'm going to do bad stuff anyways. Might as well fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that kind of reinforces.
I've already gotten punished for it, so
No,
I'm going
because
to do it anyway.
Where his story was going, I'm just going to curtail this for you, babe, is that she would hit
Taking
them
over.
and then they would, and warn them, like you said, whack, whack. this is for what you were gonna do. And they go, oh shit.
Why are they dumbing this? What?
Then they stick their hands in their pockets and they were perfect children. And people would comment on what perfect children they were.
Oh, yeah.
How
I still go into the stores today with my hands in my pockets.
Oh, we
You
went to-
do.
we
I
went-
noticed that.
Yes.
now.
Notice it. It's the weirdest
Now that you
fucking
say
thing.
that,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah, I
We
will
went-
go in the store with my hands in my
We
pockets.
went into an antique shop once, and Gary
Oh
would
my
not
God.
touch anything. And he would
Anything.
look at anything. He was so nervous to do anything. And then if I touch stuff, he's like, be careful. Be careful.
Damn, put the
However-
fear in you.
Dude, yeah.
However, again, have you met Gary?
That's a very weird area to be like.
Gary is the bull in the china shop. Not that he can't be delicate.
No,
'cause
he can be very sweet and thoughtful and all these things. And part of that, I think, is because your mom beat it into you. And thank you.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you,
Mama
Mom.
Michelle,
Thanks, Gary's
all
mom, for-
fucking day long.
Thanks, Gary's mom. Your child abuse paid off.
Nice.
I know. I would not call that child abuse. I would call that like valuable learning lessons.
100%.
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, in fairness, and I will totally cop to this. There's been times when I've walked into a room and saw you and your brother standing there, and there was an instinct in me. I think it was a parental instinct to just smack both of you. I hadn't even. All we had said was hi.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
I
no,
gotta beat these asses.
no.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
my God.
they haven't done anything.
Sean just brings a chancla for no reason.
Hell yeah.
Chocolate, yeah. Just throw it across the room. 'Cause that's what they do. That
Fucking Captain America's shield right there.
Yep.
walk in with a spatula. You know what you did.
I'm like, I do.
Yeah, like I do.
Literally, I do.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, when those, well, I was gonna say boys, but they're men now. But like,
Are we?
Are they?
Everyone knew that was coming.
depends on the moment.
Yeah. 100%.
But they still like they're with their powers combined.
Dude.
You need a
Give me
Mama
the
Michelle to
Captain
smack the fuck out of
douchers.
them.
Yeah, I could totally
Every now
imagine
and
you.
again,
My
but they're
brother
also
actually is way
so
worse than
fucking
I am.
fun.
Is he worse?
My brother
Like in
is
what
way
context?
Yes,
He's
no,
mischievous.
No.
Let me
For
share a
anybody
Yes,
who can't
and
see this
no.
right now, because nobody can see it, Britta just waved her finger at me like I'm some child in class that got chastised. No.
Yeah, yeah, that's her move. Dude. That's her fucking move.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's true. I'm gonna like my hands start. to
She's
move.
getting a couple drinks in her, and she's gonna get all mama hands.
Oh, mama
Started
lady.
like sign language all of a sudden. Motherfucker.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's
I
my
look
favorite.
white, but then you see who I grew up with, and also just
You're Panamanian, honey. You're Latin.
I
It's
grew
that
up with?
Latin that comes out of you.
yeah, that sass
That's
comes
spice.
That's spicy.
That's what it is.
My brother's we just dealt with life very differently.
Yeah.
Right. Like my brother ended up going to like releasing a lot of angst and frustration and insecurities through like fighting and finding the family. He found family outside of what we had that were probably more trouble than they were worth, where I kind of found family in like sports and theater and like those other things. You know what I'm saying? And
Excuse
I'm not
you.
saying- I'm not
Excuse you. Why
I just want to know why my wife is laughing at me.
Did you say
because-
theater and you're
face,
crackling?
her face just turned beet red too.
Yeah.
Why is
She's
theater so funny, my dear?
I found family in theater.
And this is why I don't share much
Oh,
with my
man.
wife, by the way.
That's not true.
Listen, theater breeds
I like you're getting a little
familia.
tipsy, by the way, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Gary,
I gotta tell you, it sounds fucking funny.
It is. And it's quite funny, right?
Well, and I think it's particularly funny just knowing who you are.
I know.
So like,
I know. If you guys are listening
you're
to
like
this, you got to
this-
realize I'm like a 380-pound man sitting at a table with tattoos and stuff, and I'm just like, and I found theater with.
That's actually a funny point. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, like just the
Exactly.
juxtaposition of it is actually rather hilarious.
I see you as the delicate swan that you are, Gary.
Oh, that was kind of
Thank
like.
you.
Do you remember?
you're beautiful.
I think it was American. It was American
That's for sure.
Wedding.
Wow, wow, wow.
That was beat me to it.
That American Pie movie where there was the wedding, and they went to the gay bar, and like that big burly biker dude, and then like they broke out into like the dance off between him and Stifler.
Oh my god!
You haven't seen it? Oh my god! It's like this huge.
That's a good scene.
He looks like he could have been a wrestler, but he has like this, and he like slides across the dance floor. It's very
Nice.
flamboyant. And now all I'm hoping is that one day I get to see you slide across the dance floor and just.
Might be tonight.
I have to tell you, Gary can glide and do some like popping moves like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I just saw something.
Okay, I gotta tell you, don't judge him on that. He's out of practice.
No, I guarantee he can dance way better than myself. I don't want to speak for Sean. I can't dance. I go to parties and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stand in the corner and just nod.
I've been told I'm an okay dancer. I don't believe it.
Just fucking keeping those arms tended
Now
to.
I
Just
feel like
keep
we need a
on
dance party.
bouncing.
Can we like pause, put some music on, and do a dance party real quick, and then like recap what happened?
You would suggest that.
Recap what happened,
go.
play by play. And here's Flower. He's dancing like he's broken all of his bones. What's happening? Are you okay?
Sean has
He's
clearly
crying now.
Cast.
He's actually crying.
Sean has clearly had an aneurysm.
Turned into The Walking Dead. He's just kind of shuffling around.
Will somebody shoot him in the head and put him out of his misery?
Please. No, dancing, I would rather get shot in the head. Like, I remember, like, when it was my 20s and my friends would go to the bars and stuff, they would all go on the dance floor and they loved it. They having a great time. No. I maybe tried it twice and, like, I tried dancing. I was like, I feel fucking terrible. I'm going to go. And, like, I would just, I would immediately walk away. And I was like, I'm going to go stand
If it was
outside.
Mortal Kombat on there.
Bro, if he played Mortal Kombat, I'm going to beat everybody's ass on stage. Like, this is,
He's like, finish him.
Scorpion.
You know, I didn't like dancing for probably a very insecure reason. I didn't like dancing because I didn't like getting sweaty and sweating on top of people.
God.
I mean, I sweat eating ice cream, right? So like in order to like go on a dance floor with a bunch of people and then get my clothes wringing wet and I'm sweating and I'm just feeling uncomfortable and flushed and I'm drunk at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes this whole thing that just makes me so uncomfortably insecure that I'm just like, I'm just going to go hang outside.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go do that.
No, I was like,
that was
okay.
my problem even when I was fit. Like, it was,
Yeah.
I got out on the dance floor, sweat. Because you're under those lights.
That sounds like a song. Out on the dance floor.
I walk to the fucking dance floor, sweat.
I think there's a song, Sweat.
I think we need to make this happen.
There, on a
No, I
complete-
think that's a rap song.
I think it is, but on a completely unrelated note, I remember one of my buddies who got married, he's gay, and I love them both to death, but he had his bachelor party.
Oh my God, quick preface, by the way.
Right, because we went to a
gay.
gay bar. No, because we went to a gay bar. That's why. Because we went to a gay bar.
I'm like, why does that need to be said?
And we went during South by.
Okay. Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was a great time. And we went
A lot of good music going on.
There was.
Yeah.
We were
It was
coked out of our
fucking
minds.
South
Though. Like, we were
by,
doing a bunch of
duh.
coke and went to like.
We're going to go to
clubs.
South by at some point.
We ended up going to this gay bar, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. But the very first song, the first song I hear, and it's like a techno remix, but this dude is on stage and he's singing, he goes, "Fuck my throat, fuck my throat," and like it was just "fuck my throat" over and over again. I'm like, oh,
It feels
boy.
like every song that we went to in Prague.
It was just like, it's one of those hilarious things. I was like, this is a great tune. I can't dance if someone's yelling "fuck my throat" in the
Fuck
background.
my throat. And you're like, fuck his throat.
But
And
like
all the
people were
dudes out
singing
there
it
with
too, because he would
No.
like put the mic out and they'd be like, "Fuck my throat," and I'd be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Oh my God. Well, throats. That's what was fucking
Oh
happening.
yes, that's exactly what was happening. We actually ended up going to the
Literally.
bathroom and doing a couple bumps, and like these girls walked into the stall with us, and we're like, "Okay, you guys want some?"
You're
Okay.
like, is anybody going to fuck my throat? No.
I love the silence around the room. It was like,
All right, bumps it is. Okay.
bumps, 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 bumps. It is.
Got it.
Oh, but that was a funny time.
My brother's a lot more wild than I am. I'm pretty tame, but I can get a little wild and crazy kids if I need to. I don't tend to like to. No? No, honey?
Birdie's here shaking her head like,
See, now we got
I do very much
Fucking
so.
A.
I have your truth serum here.
Oh no.
It's called me. So
Oh no.
when Gary says, I mean, I could get wild. No, he doesn't get wild. But what people perceive as wild is just insane honesty with like blatant disregard for any noise regulations. Meaning he is a loud motherfucker. So just by being loud, like if I was just like, rah, 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 that would make people be like, oh my God, you're crazy. No, he's just fucking loud.
Yeah, I actually.
voice
I was,
And
modulation.
he's loud with this like insane honesty.
Oh, it's great.
So he'll be like if let's say a friend walks up and she's wearing some like crazy outfit he'll say something like witty and funny and call that person out and also be very loud about it.
Yeah.
And that's about as crazy as Gary gets. The more drunk he
drunk
gets,
I
the
get
more
is
he'll
very
just tell you
different.
how much he loves you, and that's real
No,
crazy.
but that's a good drunk.
Just like a vulnerable crazy, like, oh, I'm so crazy. I'm just gonna share all my feelings.
Gary's
right
sitting here like
now.
he's fidgeting with his
I
hands
really
a little
am.
bit.
I've like made my thumbs bleed. Just out of like pure uncomfortableness.
This is way too much truth.
I mean, at the same time, like if you like he'll beat your ass if you give him a good enough reason.
Oh, for sure.
And if you think that's crazy, I guess that'll work. But he's not going to start anything for nothing.
Nothing, right? Like that was this is the story that I always kind of tend to go to. My brother doesn't remember much of this story, which is fine. So
Oh, you could hear that.
Yeah.
You could feel that in your voice.
and you'll hear why,
fine.
guys. You'll hear why. Okay, so I get back my first right after my first season in college. Right, I'm a full ride athlete. I got to be very careful on what I consume because I get drug tested regularly. I got to be careful like the type of trouble that I potentially can get in because like at any given time they'll just like pull your scholarship, you know,
Yeah.
for just like doing dumb shit, right? And so I'm home for the first time. And my brother's stoked because he hasn't seen me for months, you know, and that type of thing. And so he basically goes, yo, let's go out. I got a buddy that's having a party at this house. And I was like, all right, where's it at? And he's like, it's in Santa Ana. If you guys don't know, Santa Ana is culturally more predominantly Mexican. So, you know, where we grew up, there's a decent amount of like gangbangery type people. And my brother kind of ran in that kind of crowd, which was fine because, I mean, I'm half Mexican. So, like, I just,
Right.
I gotta tell you, most of those gangbangers I grew up with, and they're good people.
they're good people. Exactly. So I didn't really think much of it.
Until
you know?
they stab you.
Until the death.
Until you do, you know, body blows in the bathroom in high school. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we get to the said party. It was my brother, myself, and his buddy Tristan, which was basically this like smaller than Britta, by the way, smaller than my wife, Filipino dude. And he drove us. And so we get there. We end up going to this party, and this place is bumping, man. Everybody's having a good time. It's loud. We're, you know, chilling, and my brother and I doing what we do best. We just get drunk and we bullshit with people, and we crack.
You're very
joke.
good at that.
We just bullshit, right? Like basically, I'm doing a stand-up shit, just sharing dumb stories and having a good time with all these dudes. My brother taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom." Okay, cool. So me and the guys are still kind of just bullshitting, and I'm getting more and more intoxicated. And my brother comes back, and he, you know, like nothing happened. It's just like we're just chilling. Literally, maybe 10, 15 minutes go by, and the girl that was running this party, my brother actually didn't know them. He was just kind of there. She comes out and she goes, "Who the fuck stole it? Who stole it?" And her boyfriend comes out, "Hey, motherfuckers, who the fuck stole it, man?" And me and my brother looking at each other like, oh shit. We're the tallest, biggest white guys out of all of these Mexicans.
Nice.
Happening in this party.
Plus, you're white.
Plus, we're sticking out like a fucking
Oh,
sore
you're like, we're the
thumb.
tallest white guys. It's like you can just
And
be like,
we're just
white.
white. Yeah, totally. And so, go ahead, honey.
Well, but you have to realize that Gary and Mikey are big motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're
Like, it's
dudes.
not like you're just like some random white hipster dude was at my party. No, these are like big.
Yeah, we stick
like
out.
big
Own
Well,
thing.
I think in the
motherfuckers.
context of the story, it's like the fact that you two stick out. It's like you're gonna be blamed.
Yeah, you're only half Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
That other half.
your-
people don't
Your
even know
mama's
that.
genes run strong in you boys. 'cause
Very much so.
Your
That
skin
Huskers.
is white.
We're
yeah.
Nebraskan blood. Basically, what ends up happening is the boyfriend comes out and he's yelling at everybody. And my brother and I are looking at each other and I'm like, fuck, dude, this is going sour. I literally told my brother, I'm like, dude, I can't be here. Like, if this shit goes sour, like, I can lose my scholarship. I can get the fuck out of here, you know? And so my brother goes, all right, cool. Let's try and get the fuck out of here. So we start leaving towards the side of the house. And the boyfriend's buddies are like, where the fuck are you guys going? We're like, oh, we gotta leave. You know, we gotta blah, blah, blah. He's like, you ain't fucking going nowhere, man.
Oh, okay.
And my brother goes, we're leaving. We're fucking leaving. And I'm like, dude, don't.
It's like, don't do this. Don't do this,
Do
please.
this. And my brother looks at me. He's like, you got to get out of here, though, right? And I'm just like,
Way to put it back on you, little
dude,
bro.
and
God damn.
My brother, literally, the other guy gets into my brother's face. And this is, I love my brother to death because this is just who my brother is. The guy gets in my brother's face and he starts talking shit or whatever. My brother doesn't talk shit. My brother does shit.
Oh boy.
And my brother ends up headbutting this dude. boom, right in the face and shatters his nose.
Okay.
Shoves the dude out of the way. And so the fucking backyard erupts in a fist fight.
Nice.
Erupts in a fucking fist fight.
Streets
man.
of rage.
Dude, straight up. And I'm like, exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Right? You're like, you brought it.
You brought it. And so my brother and I are actually double dragoning back to back. You know? And so you just see a bunch of people just getting tossed and tossed and tossed. And we can't get out of the side of the house. So we said, fuck it. We're going to go through the front of the house.
Yeah.
And we go through the living room and more people are trying to keep us from leaving.
Oh, Jesus.
And my brother just, fine, fuck it. My brother chucks a dude through the china cabinet. I chuck a dude on the mom's marble counter and it snaps the fucking marble countertop.
Oh, Jesus.
And so, like, we literally kicked the shit out of like 8 or 9 dudes.
Nice.
As we were running out of this fucking house.
Fuck me.
And so, as we're leaving, our buddy Tristan ends up pulling up the car and we end up running out and he's ready to go, right? And so we jump the fuck out into the car and we start speeding off. Another car rolls up as we're leaving and like 3 dudes get out of the car. One has a shotgun.
Oh,
one has
shit.
an Uzi.
Okay, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, we were like,
Yeah.
you know, as fast as we possibly can. And my brother's sitting there and he's all drunk and he's just like, oh man, that was fun. That was a good time. We had a good time, man. And literally what we found out was that he pulls out a wad of cash
Oh, my God.
out of his fucking pocket. He's like, anybody want to go to Norm's?
He did it.
He is the one that
Nice.
fucking did it.
So he just stole cash from
He stole cash from the fucking girl's purse that was
It
in there.
was like their rent money,
Their rent
or,
money
some
or
shit
something
like
crazy
that.
shit. Yeah.
Yikes.
I was like, fuck, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, let's go get food.
Like, dude.
I mean, I just
what-
beat ass. Yeah, of
what
course
are
I'm
you-
hungry.
What are you going to do at that point?
Of course.
Yeah, you're not going back. You're gonna fucking die.
I'm not going to be like, Mike, you're going back.
Yeah,
You
from the
get back
moment
to them
from the
after
moment
that.
he
Right.
made that
And you're
one,
gonna apologize, and it's gonna be just fine.
yeah, from the moment he made the one bad decision, that was it. You're committed.
Rest of
Write it out.
went fucking through. And it was 2 bad decisions. It was one, he took the money, which I was like, bro, fuck you.
Number
dude.
2.
Number 2, he busted that dude's nose with his
Oh,
head.
fuck yeah.
That was the second bad decision.
That was,
But I mean, like,
And then we're
here's
in
the
it because
thing.
I didn't know any of the rest of the stuff. I'm just like, well, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I mean,
fantastic.
the situation was already escalating.
100%.
Those guys with the guns were probably already on their way.
Oh yeah.
And it would have been a matter of time before they started
100%.
searching people.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Like those guys were called in the moment that they knew that was lost, right? Like
Yeah,
that it was
totally.
missing. And so we were able to get I just feel really bad about that girl's house.
Yeah, not the marble table? Just
That's what I mean. That's what
not
I mean.
her
I'm like, it was a
mom's
really
house.
nice, it was a really
Listen,
nice marble table.
here's the thing you got to remember about that.
They had a really nice backyard though.
Number one,
Hey, it used to be.
that whole neighborhood's one big family. That countertop was repaired, replaced, and done the next day.
Maybe.
That china cabinet probably replaced too. The china in it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, that's like you're not dealing with a family of 7. You're dealing with a family of 700.
That's true. Santa Ana is deep.
They're fine.
Yeah, they roll deep, man. It was just one of those things for me though. That was just like, fuck, dude. And my brother was just like, "Hey, you want to go to another party?" I'm like, "No,
Do you want to do it again?
Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "No, dude." I never went to another party with my brother.
That makes sense.
My little
Ever
brother's the
again,
scrappy
man.
one too. Like, I mean,
I can't. I just can't.
I was a hothead when I was a kid, and I stood up for a lot of fights, but nobody ever fought me.
yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, my brother never if I ever got in a confrontation, it was usually because somebody was picking on somebody, like bullying them, and I'd get up in their face and be like, "Let's go," because I was just not going to stand for somebody picking on somebody who couldn't defend themselves. You know, you get this like nerdy kid who's got his pocket pen protector, and like the guy, this guy who's clearly like varsity, like shoving him around, calling him names, and I was just this like psychotic punker kid, and I was built like a brick shithouse because I've been pumping weight since I was 12.
Yeah.
And I walk up and I'd be like, "All right, you're gonna fight me instead."
Oh god.
And they'd be like, "What? I don't got a problem with you." I'm like, "Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You absolutely have a fucking problem with me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take your swing.
Yeah.
And I promise you, you're going to be a stain on the pavement."
Oh no.
And they'd always back down.
I love that you both are just very like,
Like the softest motherfuckers you could imagine, and at the same time, like. So I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Like so strong.
no, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna be like,
Oh.
I project
I was.
this idea of like, oh, I'm a tough guy. It's like, nah. Like someone's getting picked on, I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now,
Okay.
Matt.
If consider yourself a tough guy.
I'm telling you right now, Matt. Like if we
You're
went out
like
to
you're
a
a
bar,
tough guy with your tongue, and that's about it.
if we went out to a
Works for
bar
women.
and some
Ladies.
ladies, hello, ladies. Matt is also recently single. This episode is brought to you by Max Tongue.
And hopefully his dick.
and if things go well, you can get a Matt mask for free.
Matt Mask. It's like honeydew.
I love it.
So refreshed and new.
You liked that highlight title, did you? It was
great.
Yeah,
If we
I'm here
went
for you, buddy.
to if we went to a bar or something like that, and some dude's giving you shit, like I wouldn't even think twice. I would just knock his ass out.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
fight for
Like
my
I wouldn't
friends.
even
hands
stop.
down.
I would.
if, like, I
I would.
didn't-
I'm not gonna puff my chest against you. I'm not like, is this guy bothering you? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Yeah.
fight for my
Right?
friends, but like if it comes down to like someone I don't know, I'll be like,
Yes.
Well, that's
here's the
different,
thing.
though.
Here's the thing. Is like I never liked it when I saw because
go ahead, Bert.
I gotta tell you,
I just got my face stroked by Matt.
He really did.
it was more like a light beard stroke, like not even like full skin
Beard's
to
part of
skin-
my face.
skin to skin contact.
good.
But it was like real gentle, like tingling
Yeah, I
your
mean-
hair follicles.
Made my balls tighten up a little.
I bet they did. Maybe a little tingle, little ball tingle.
All right.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
So Gary likes to be like, no, I'm all love, man. You know, like I'm so nice and whatever.
Yeah, I know.
And
This is the dark side of me, by the way.
the truth is, like, give me a fucking reason.
Give me a reason. Give me a reason.
I've
give me
tried
a
to get him
fucking
to like
reason.
go do like boxing classes or something because I'm like, boy, you need to go fuck shit up.
I do.
Like you need to fuck this pussy up and you need to fuck this pussy up. It's like if you have these like two physical outlets, I think you're a very happy person. But he doesn't. He's like, what am I gonna do? Like punch a punching bag? Fuck.
What did he do?
Yeah, like,
What did
love
it
it.
do to me?
But
I
if you
love your
have-
impression of Gary.
if
It's
you-
on point.
Yeah, it is.
But if you have some horrible asshole that's just like begging for the like equivalent of a good like wooden spoon spanking, Gary's your man.
I'm your man.
And he
I-
hasn't
the only
had
way-
a good reason for a
He-
long
yeah.
time.
The only
but
way I
he
get
is
to that
waiting
now.
for one.
Yeah, the only way I get to get those rocks off now is talking to fucking 13-year-olds over fucking Discord.
My man.
While playing
Oh
video
my god!
games.
Talking
and
shit.
I gotta
Talking
tell
shit,
you,
you know?
Yeah.
that does not really get him off.
It's
No.
pretty fun, though.
It doesn't.
It just makes him frustrated. And
It
sound
might
pathetic, to be
might
honest.
dull the edge of it a little bit, but
That's
Honest
though.
truths.
It's honest truth.
brutal.
I'm 35 years old, by the way.
That's okay.
You're like,
Oh,
fuck this
35.
12-year-old.
Dude, you know what though? The fucking online community is brutal, man. Like, of
course they are.
Like
Yeah,
we play
savage.
Overwatch, right? Like
Yeah.
you jump into a match, and then this one that actually got me that I was just like, God, fucking damn these fucking trolls, dude. There was a kid that was
Yeah.
there, and he was playing the game. He was a little young, young being like 13, 14 years old. And he kind of had like a high voice, and that was it. That's all this kid had. He was actually a really good player, right, on the team or whatever. And all this whole other side, this whole team was just talking shit, right? They're just like, oh, I bet you fucking suck dicks. I bet you fucking blah 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 blah, and just like giving this kid a bunch of shit. And he's just like, why are you saying that to me? Like, why are you doing? I was like, and I felt so bad for this kid, and I literally told the kids, I'm like, don't let them stick that dick in your mouth, bro. Stick up for yourself. You know,
Nice.
like
These were like,
don't
why are you yelling
don't
at me
fucking
too?
do that.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
little
Like,
boy,
listen,
don't let them
dude,
stick a
don't
dick
let
in your
them
mouth.
Stick a dick in your mouth, man. Stick up for yourself.
Can you please make that a bumper sticker?
Yeah,
don't
don't-
stick a dick in your mouth. Stick up for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just one of those things that I was just like, those are the things that bug me within like that.
If we ever have
trolling
a
culture,
merch site, the shit that we're gonna
Oh my
fucking
God.
release.
It's
Bumper stickers and say, don't let them stick a dick in your mouth. Stick
yeah.
up for yourself.
Hell yeah. Mantra.
T-shirts.
Babe, didn't you say that there was a deal for some stickers?
Oh,
I can make stickers. Yeah.
So Gary's made stickers for my surfing crew for
Nice.
like a select.
This is actually
few.
pretty cool, by the way.
Yeah, so it took me forever, but I gradually worked up into being into my little surfing crew. I like earned my stripes to be allowed in.
Okay.
And so anyway, as a thank you, 1 year, this was like 2 years ago, I partnered with Gary, meaning that I just said, hey babe, will you do this? And he made these stickers for me that was based on a saying, which came from a friend of mine that introduced me to the group.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I passed them around, and now it's like a badge of honor. It's like a whole
that's
thing.
awesome.
Is it pretty cool?
And then the first ones were one size, and the second ones just accidentally were a smaller size, which kind of suck. And so it's like almost like you're an OG crew if you got like the original stickers,
Nice.
and then you like are on the outskirts but still part of the crew. And people still ask for them and ask for shirts, and it's like a whole thing.
That's awesome.
And I'm like trying to make it like
Yeah.
really exclusive.
Yeah, so he's like,
It's a
I want to do
club.
a
It
new
It really is.
design.
Yeah, I figured it'd be kind of cool.
So anyway,
Generational changes and shit.
Exactly.
basically
Nice.
what I'm saying is that Gary could make us stickers,
I'm down.
and he
Let's
has
do
a
it.
deal that just came up recently.
And I mean, let's face it, our splash screen, like our thumbnail, it looks chill as fuck.
It's great.
it's
I do
pretty
love
good.
Like
that
I would
thumbnail.
put the chill regular fucking logo.
Let's just all stroke our cocks and flicks our beans to all of us.
Flicks our beans.
I'll flick my bean, you stroke your cock,
I'll
we'll be good.
I'll flicks my beans to you guys.
Use guys M's dildos.
Oh my god, I love my wife so much.
That's
Honey,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this show today.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful.
I've
you're
been
here.
dying to have you here.
You are welcome
Here I
on
am.
this show anytime you want. Babe.
Bravo.
Yeah, every fucking
Hello.
time.
Pretty
you
much
wanna be
every
here.
time David like doesn't make it, we're just
Yeah,
gonna drag
when one
you.
of you guys like bail out, then
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come.
I would be honored if you took my seat in
She's
my
making
absence.
it that exclusive.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe I won't.
She's like, if one of you cocksuckers ain't here, I'm here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because this cocksucker will
Maybe.
be here.
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Oh, I see what you
I
did
have
there.
to tell you, half the time I'm masturbating while you guys are in here.
Yes, babe.
Like
Fuck
to
yeah.
Us or just well that's
To me.
what a coincidence. Half the time I'm
I
masturbating
hope.
while we're in here too.
Well, with that though, guys,
Oh, are we cutting it?
I
Is
think
that
we're
it?
cutting it, bro.
Is it time?
I think it's time.
Say the closing line.
Time to go flick some
It's time
beans
to
and
go
stroke some
flick some
cocks.
beans. Thank you.
What does it you say usually when we get to that point? Say it. It's a catchphrase now.
I think we done did it.
Yes. There it
We
is.
I think we
done
done did it, team.
Done did it, yeah. Done did it. Done did it. Done did it. We are a W. You guys don't know the song?
No.
No.
SOME. That spells awesome. We are a.
I love that you had to tell us that like we didn't know it.
Just in case you didn't put it together. SOME.
Nice.
And this is why I married this fucking beautiful bitch. Guys, thank you.
Did it.
Thank you.
We'll be here next week, as always.
For sure.
Like us on all the thingies that you guys are supposed to like us on.
Do it.
We out.
Goodbye. Have a nice day. Try not to die. Be good. Farewell and have a wonderful trip. Try not to let your pretty little heart skip. Be strong. Keep your head up high. Try not to fall into an opal style upon your first try. I'll see you next time you decide to come visit me in the zoo. And by then I